moving from the traditional agriculture to modern agriculture. This is all what it is about. And this Agritech Park is precisely meant to showcase new agriculture, modern agriculture. This morning, I was very happy to hear a lot of interesting words, terms. I heard about entrepreneurship, innovation. My good friend Girish just said a lot of things about, how to groom new entrepreneurs. He kept on saying, we need new entrepreneurs. So all these things make me, reflect on something very important for our country. I think for one of the first time, I'm in a meeting, I hear private sector, public sector, academia, probably NGOs, I don't know if there are any here, sharing the same vision. The vision is very important. And you will see at the University of Mauritius, about 3.5 years back, we came up with a new vision. And that vision was to develop a research-engaged and entrepreneurial university, which is not a traditional way of any university. I mean, many of you have probably been to universities, and when we talk of universities, we tend to talk about universities providing the human capital and universities providing the intellectual capital through training and through research. But we believe that universities should go beyond. We should create also what we term as business capital. How do we do that? Is by interacting with industry. And we should not stop there. It is important for us also to create that social capital. The social capital is very important. We talk a lot about social entrepreneurship, we talk a lot about interaction with NGOs, but how do we do that? How do we get people on board? So it's not just a kind of triple helix model of innovation, where academia, industry, and public sector work together. It's also a quadruple helix. So this is what we're trying to do, and to develop that research-engaged and entrepreneurial university, of course, you need innovative projects. So that's why I was very happy to hear a lot of innovative things happening, a lot of innovation. Innovation is at the center of what we do at the university. And in fact, I do believe that a university doesn't exist because it's an institution. That's how the concept of ivory tower cropped up. We feel that we are in an ivory tower and, we are the only ones having knowledge and don't care about what's happening around. I don't think this is the right model. We need to open the university and instead of being in the ivory tower, be out of it and be a partner of development. So being a partner, we work with all the stakeholders in developing innovative projects. And one of them that we've put in place since about 2 years now, we're putting in place an Agritech Park. Okay, so as you can see, it's all about moving from the traditional agriculture to modern agriculture. This is all what it is about. And this Agritech Park is precisely meant to showcase new agriculture, modern agriculture. We no longer want people, and people don't want to, young people no longer want to put their hands, in the mud. That is, don't ask anybody to go and plow land. They want to use the modern techniques. They want to get into, having using their laptops. They want to get into new things. So all you've seen here is showcased on the Agritech Park. We have 2 sets of farm bots that we have put at our Agritech Park, and people can come and see what is meant by this digital agriculture. Now, when we talk of putting in place an Agritech Park, of course, we want to respond to specific challenges. What are they? We all face the problem of having to produce better with less. When I say less, I mean less land. So we need to produce better. How do we do that? We need to address the food security issues. And you all know that during the COVID-19, how much of problems we had. Food supply chain totally disrupted, right? That's why this morning I asked the question of, should we not at times, when we present lofty things, bring it to the Mauritian context? How can we talk of so many big things when during the COVID-19 pandemic, we were taken aback, truly. It was really difficult, I mean, for those supermarkets to come on and say, we can supply in a very sort of smooth manner. We were all disrupted. So the issue of food security is, I think, very important. Third, coming back to this issue of grooming entrepreneurs, we need to provide, a kind of platform for people to come and test ideas. We're talking of incubators, right? But without much focus on the type of incubators that we should have. So we think that developing added value products and agri-processing is something very important. This reminds me all the time of simple things. We go to the supermarket and we pick up a plastic bag. In the plastic bag we've got, we can have carrots, we can have lettuces, we can have these things. And we see the trademark name Bon Duel. And the same lettuce that we could buy in the market at 15, 25 rupees will be 125 rupees there. And what have they done? They're just taking lettuces and putting in plastic bags. That's all. Of course, they have developed the technology for that. They put it on a vacuum and everything. But it's simple technology and making a lot of money out of it. So transforming products, transforming raw materials into value-added products is something very important that we need to look at. So when we talk of the challenges that we have, we also need to see how we can solve those kind of challenges. So to produce more with less means that we need to develop new techniques. We need to embrace new techniques. When I talk of smart agriculture, I'm also embedding into that digital agriculture. That is very important. You've seen it. From sowing the seeds to through watering until harvesting, everything goes digital. What does it mean? It means that you are doing things more efficiently. You can treat the plants. You don't need to water all the time because you've got a lot of things that can measure the soil humidity and everything and tell you whether you need to water or not. You need not throw pesticides all throughout. You can select the plant that is diseased and put the pesticide there. So all these things will help into developing, kind of producing more and better with less. Of course, promote digital agriculture is one of the important responses to what we face right now. And third, how do we develop added value products is by grooming entrepreneurs. We need to groom that new generation of entrepreneurs in this country, getting away from the traditional, way of doing agriculture. That was previously, prior to 2017, this Agritech Park was known as the University Farm. Those of you who've been at the Rageby campus have heard probably of the farm. Probably used to go there to take some beer, far from the university management. So the farm is what you can see here. It's basically 21 acres of land. It's a lot. It's a lot of land, almost barren, not being used. So we decided to transform it into a park, that is really living, where there's a lot of innovation going on. And how do we do that? It's by partnership. So we want to partner with industry. We want to partner with entrepreneurs. We want our students to get involved. We want our academic staff to get involved into developing innovative projects. So we have decided that there should be 3 focused areas. We can't do everything. So one of them is precisely the smart agriculture. Bio and smart agriculture is one very important theme. A second one, I mentioned it, is about food security. And a third one is introducing that agri-processing incubator. I'm just happy to say to you that this is not something that we were dreaming. We already have an agri-processing incubator. We had an existing building that we have refurbished and transformed into that agri-processing incubator. Anyone here or anyone who has got an idea and would like to test can come, to the university, and we can discuss and see how we can put that in place. Coming to these sort of things, in fact, we need to create that kind of ecosystem. And this is valid not only for modern agriculture, it's valid for AI. It's valid for whether we talk of digital technology or whether we talk of digitalization. You go to the US, you go to any place in the US, any town in the US, you will have the opportunity to do 3D printing. Any member of the public can do that. The problem in our country is that we're not having that kind of ecosystem, that kind of environment, I would say, stimulating environment where people can go and test ideas. So this is what we try to do. And as I said, it's a platform for all the stakeholders to come together and reflect on how to take that further. Do not neglect agriculture in our country. One of my friends was telling me he's top manager of a bank, and he says to me, when we invite people to come and we would like to offer funding to them, out of, I think they have 20 million rupees that they would like to give, they have, I think, 7 or 8 projects. 6 of them are in the field of agriculture. So let us not forget that. Agriculture remains something very important in our country. We just need to re-engineer it and how to get it better. So at the Agritech Park, we are not saying we are going to solve all the problems that we have. We're just focusing on 2 things. And those 2 things, we are bridging a gap. In our country, let's say a student at the university has done something great, interesting project. The student stops there, gets a job, and the project goes into a drawer at the university. Nothing happens, no innovation. So what we're saying is the Agritech Park is meant to taking projects from lab to proof of concept. Because once you have the proof of concept and you can move to incubation, and once you've done the incubation, it's then that you can go to banks and get money. So this is something which is not done at present in our country. And this is the same not only for agriculture. It transcends all disciplines, AI, all these things that we've been talking this morning. How do you do that in practice? So this is a kind of way that would, stimulate the young people to test ideas. Of course, once they've done the incubation, they can then go to banks, and banks would probably lend money for them to put up their own companies. And if it is a high-tech company, even better. So I heard a lot of the SDGs. Girish talked a lot about SDGs just in the previous talk. And the Agritech Park, obviously, is not just addressing zero hunger, SDG 2, but also a lot of those SDGs, SDG 9, which is about grooming entrepreneurs, developing innovation. We're also looking at, all these SDGs mentioned here. And the most important for me in the SDGs is SDG 17, which is partnerships to achieve the goals. If you are able to develop the kind of partnership, and I go back to the first slide about the vision of bringing all the stakeholders together, I think we've got a chance to really succeed. Of course, I need not stress on these things. When you develop something, you need to be multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and all the important aspects that help you develop your project. Just give you a few examples of what we are doing on the Agritech Park with companies. One of them is, for example, personalized smart farming modeling and predicting for the individual producer. This is something that we are doing with Al-Balak Technologies, and they come to us. They have got an idea. We work together with them, trying to establish personalized, customizable model for integrating diverse data and so on and so forth, so that farmers know exactly what they're doing. They're not just doing things on an ad hoc manner. They know exactly how to proceed, how to do things, how to use data, make use of the whole lot of data that we have to produce better with less. So this is one of the projects that we have. Another project with the Eclosia Group is to develop a commercial dairy farm for sustainable milk production. You know that we have miserably failed in this area in our country. We haven't been able to develop really milk production. And I heard someone this morning talking a lot about, data helping into, for example, into the genetics. You know that one of the main problems why we have failed, and that was told to us, that was brought to us by the Eclosia Group. They say that they have done a study, and the study showed that we failed because we could not look precisely into the right genetics of the cows that will produce the right amount of milk and the quality of milk in our country. So we started working together into looking at the genetics. Now we have completed that first part of the study. Now we're moving into the second part, which is building small dairy farms on the Agritech Park to groom the new generation of entrepreneurs. So we'll be starting with 3 of them, hand in hand with the Eclosia Group. But that's not all. When you are into such an enterprise, you find that if you are able to get the right genetics, you're able to get the right fodder, there's a third problem. The problem of how do you get that enterprise sustainable? That is, how do you get rid, how do you cope with the high amount of waste that is being produced? So thinking of how to recycle the waste get us to another another partnership with another company into how we can get the waste to produce biogas. So we are very soon signing another partnership into taking the waste to biogas. So you can see this is getting to the new world, to the new sort of dealing with, with problems and not just ignoring things and saying, well, this is of no concern to us. We've got a third one. Well, we now have a brand new incubator where people can come. They've got equipment. They've got labs. We open that to them. Of course, it's not free of charge. We would like to be, to give access to everybody free of charge, but that's not possible. So we are equipping that place to open it to the public. They can come and test ideas. They may have so often, we see people coming from other countries, Mauritians, and saying to us, this medicinal plant could be upscaled in our country, and we could produce this and that would cure diabetes, that would cure this and that, but they're unable to get access. So now we are kind of providing, to them access to the labs and to the equipment. But not only labs and equipment, we also have our people, our researchers, who can be very helpful. They can also use our students. And this is a big problem. If you don't have students to help you, it's difficult to develop innovation. So this is being done, and what you can see here, if I can summarize, you see that the focus is not only on digital, the focus is also on addressing the food security problem and also on grooming entrepreneurs. So it's a whole project in itself. When we talk of, that was the farm bot that I was mentioning to you, already set on the Agritech Park at the university. When we talk of digital, big ideas, that was also the idea behind my question this morning to the person of asking how do we translate that? Very important to translate. If our young people are not aware of what's happening and getting to school with the same kind of mindset, nothing happens. So we think that we need to get students coming to the university, school students, college students coming to the university and seeing what is meant by this kind of, new modern agriculture. And I think, again, allow me to say it again, this model can be extrapolated, can be used in other sectors. And I'm thinking of precisely, in AI, in fintech, in blockchain. People need to see things happening. How many of you, I was born long back, probably one of the oldest in this room. When you go, since we were going to school, we had policemen at roundabouts. And probably some of us were thinking, in the years to come, we may no longer have such policemen. 50 years later, we see policemen again. And the traffic has increased massively. Then we come to a conference and we hear we can control traffic by AI. But people don't see anything happening. So how do we bring technology to people? This is, I think, what we should do. Not just keep it, into experts. How do we get that to the people? The dissemination is very important. Of course, we have done a few things. We have started. Funds are coming in. You see the last one, EU-funded Desira project. Desira means development of smart, innovative research in agriculture. We have a funding of 20 million. So that is also very important. When you see that other funding agencies are willing to put in money, it means that they believe into what you're doing. And they believe into the country. So getting 20 million these days is not something easy, but this is not just the first that we have received. We have other funding coming into smart agriculture, and the 12 million funded by the EU again. So funding is coming. That is very important. So, and private sector also joining in. So we see that now we have got the ecosystem to thrive. And I hope that in the next couple of years, that will be, kind of place incontournable in, the Mauritian scenery.